been here before. For those of you who missed the episode where I announced what we're going to do, we're going to put branches here. Up until yesterday, my wife and I were thinking maybe we should put the steel pipes here. Last minute, we reverted back. Let's just stick with our plan. That's what we want to do. We think it's going to look great. So we're going to put branches here. They're going to kind of go all over the place. They're not going to go straight up and down. They're going to be maybe a little interwoven. They're going to be about an inch, inch and a half in diameter on the small side, and hopefully about 2, maybe 2.5 on the fat side. So I'm just taking a few measurements here because we also need a bottom rail that's going to sit right on the floor, and that's where we're going to screw the branches in on the bottom part. And then the top, we're going to screw to the top rail here and then directly into the ceiling. I'm not sure if we're going to use pine or fir. We have both in abundance right here on the property. And I think what I'm going to do is actually prune a couple trees. We have about 1,000 trees that have to be pruned. They should be pruned. So I'm going to tackle a tree or two, just enough to get branches that'll work for this. This bottom rail is going to be made out of the same as the top rail, which is standing dead pine that was burned in the fire. As you can see, also blued. Looks fantastic. Wait till you see this oiled. You're going to love it. So we'll go back to the barn and process these rails. Still have to do a rail over on the other side as well. That's just going to be a shorter section, of course. So I'm going to take some measurements, and then either I'll see you out in the forest cutting trees, or I'll see you in the barn cutting a rail. It depends on if it rains or not. Well, thanks for stopping by. This ought to be fun, so let's get busy. It's sprinkling just a little bit right now, but not enough to ruin anything. So we're right down the hill from the Spur Cabin. Right there it is. And the opposite direction is the log gate down there. So this is the perfect tree. Needs pruning, gnarly in the bottom. Got some curvy sticks, some character wood. I think this is the one. Ponderosa pine. I was going to go for a Doug fir at first, but they're too straight. and each individual branch is straight. And by the time they fork, they're really thin. But this is maybe 30 years old, 40 years old. That thing should be pruned up about there if possible. I think I can get everything I need for this rail out of this one tree. Okay, let's try it out and get sawing. You remember the video when I made the log post for the loft, right? Yeah, how could you forget? The response was overwhelming. Please give us more videos where you're struggling to get off bark. I tell you, this is a little bit easier. The greener it is, the easier it is, and most of this stuff was green, as you saw when I cut it off the tree. The problem is holding it. That's the struggle. Virtually no way to clamp it down. And use the draw knife, especially because everything's curvy, that's what we want, right? I tried clamping it down with several different types of wood clamps that I have. It just wouldn't work. Plus, every time you get an area off, it's so small, you have to turn it right away. So you spend more time trying to clamp it down. So it just didn't work out. So I'm just going to struggle with it. This is what it looks like so far. Looks pretty good, though. Who am I kidding? Looks real good. Certainly a hand-hewn look. That's okay, I don't charge any extra for that. Let me show you the stack I have. I'd like to get that much done. I don't know. That's a lot. Probably more than necessary. I think after debarking a few more, I'm really gonna try and figure out how many I need because I don't want to do this any more than I have to. Hey, we do what we have to do. It's raining outside, can you hear that? Wow, was that easier? I finally found a green one. The bark is actually coming off in strips. It's pretty amazing. The stuff that wasn't green, literally this is it. That's from the green stuff. Big difference. I would describe removing bark from something that isn't green as a struggle. Something that is green, it's almost therapeutic. It's kind of fun to do. Call me nutty. Several ways to tell the difference. Look at that. Moss. Moss more likely to grow on a lower branch that's dead. You see that a lot. So this was on the tree. This still had needles on it that were brown. It was obviously dead though. I thought, well, it couldn't have died too long ago. Maybe it isn't bad. It is bad. It was way more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. No bueno. Also, the bark is rougher and scalier. So this is green, very green. The difference after I remove the bark, here, let me show you. From here, probably not a big difference, but you see this one has some red blotches on it. Yeah, this is the hand-hewn one. Check that out. The bark is only removed with a little bit of wood under it because it was basically one substance versus this, which is smooth, still has the roundness to it because I was able to just remove the bark and not the meat underneath it. Oh, I was probably looking goofy with this thing. I put this underneath my belt. It feels a lot better hitting this board than it does me. What I'd like to do is get this pile done right here. It's 4 more sticks. And as soon as we get these finished up, we'll work on our bottom rail and get that cut to size. Okay, fun continues. Sunshine. It is February 2nd. Okay, forget it. I'm gonna sit here in a chair and sit in the sun for a while, take a nap. As you saw, I decided to do one more branch this morning. Peeled pretty quickly, so I was happy about that. Oh, look at that. That's our Christmas tree left over. I should probably get rid of that. What a nice day in the ranch. For those of you who are just joining us, that's what we call the main cabin. It's a glorified garage. That's the main quarters that we stay in. I'm about to enter the barn. Off in the distance, what we call the woodshed. And way up there in the hill that you can't see is the ridge cabin. The spur cabin is that way about 3 miles. Well, maybe that way. Okay, let me show you what we have. Looks like enough, doesn't it? I think that'll work. It's not a very big space up there. Let's start with that. I have a couple of reserves in the back of the truck, so I think that'll work. Okay, now for the bottom rail that's going to sit on the floor of the loft, right on the edge. Oh man, first I have to take care of this mess. Here, give me about 10 seconds. Okay, here it is. I need 64.5 inches. This is 66.5, so great. And then I need a small chunk of 26.5. Here, check this out. It's the same stuff that I made the top rail out of. Wormhole blue pine, fire killed from Red Moose Ranch. Nice to put it to use. If you remember from the log post video where I did the top rail there, I had to run these through the table saw from both directions. And the reason I do that is for a straight edge more than anything, because I have to finish it off with my circular saw because this blade is set for life. It won't move, unfortunately. So I finish it off with the circular saw, but I run it through here anyway just to establish a nice straight line. Okay, let's get this over to the Spur Cabin and start putting it together. Okay, first thing we're going to do is put this bottom rail on the floor. That's going to be attached flat to the pine floor that we have going on here. So, it's going to be flush behind you over there, but I'm going to notch this big post out so it fits in it like this top rail does. I don't know if you remember that. So we notch that out. So I'm going to do something similar to the bottom. I do have my good chisels with me, so hopefully that'll be a little bit easier. This should be fun because there's a knot right there. Oh well, aren't you just having the time of your life? I thought so. Okay, let's put this in. Okay, you ready to do this? Well, this is where art meets science. No, actually, this is where art trumps science. There's no science to this. The only science there is to handrails really is the code that says if a 4-inch ball cannot pass through your railing, then that's good. There are many things that aren't necessarily up to today's standards or codes. This railing is going to be one of them. It's going to be built in such a fashion that you can always take branches and fill in any gap you want. All that being said, I'm just going to have fun with this. I've never done this before. For those of you who have, maybe you can teach me something. So I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to start with some bigger ones, and I'm just going to go. No rules that I know of. So I'm just going to cut these to length and just start piecing them in. Well, let's get cutting. I think we should start with this one. How does that look? Well, it's starting to get dark. Oh, I did get a couple of handrails. I'm going to put some pipe up there vertically on those posts. That way we have something to grab onto when we're climbing the ladder. Okay, we'll finish this up tomorrow. So stay put. I'll be right back. Another day, another original work painted by Mother Nature. Check that out. Well, let's finish up that ponderosa pine railing up there. That last one I put up right there, I'm going to take down because it's really bowed. I thought it would add a little character, but too much character. It is really bowed into the loft area. So I'm going to take that one down. Maybe I'll shorten it up, use it somewhere else. I should have plenty to choose from though. Well, let's finish this up. Okay, one side finished, I think. Should I put another one over on that side? I might. I'll do this side first. Almost expect to see a big spider up there. Let's finish that up, and then we have our hand grips on the posts. and then we'll be out of here. Check it out. What do you think, huh? Pretty cool. Got these safety handrails here. Look at that. And thank you very much for watching Life on the Moose. I really appreciate that. If you'd like to come back next week, I'd love to have you. Maybe we'll put up wall insulation? Yes! Another insulation video. Oh, Lordy. I'm going to lose all my subscribers pretty soon if I keep this up. Oh, goodness. It's only 225. You know what? Let's just put insulation in right now. Okay, I'm just kidding. I can't do it. Did you see the deer back there? There are deer back there. I don't know if you can see them or not. Right in there somewhere. Life on the Moose mugs are here. Yes, they are. I don't have one with me. Karen said they arrived. She said that looks great. She sent me a picture. I think they look good. Maybe in the next week or two, we'll have t-shirts or hoodies. I'll let you know, believe me. Hopefully I'll be wearing one pretty soon. So if you are interested in a Life of the Moose coffee mug or any other merchandise, I think it's going to be on the home page, my home channel page. I believe that's where it's found. It's not there yet, but I'll get it there by the time this comes out. We're moving up in the world. Okay, I got a mess in there to clean up, so I'm out of here. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Thanks for the likes and the subscribes and all the wonderful comments. You're awesome. I'll see you next week.